Professor Villarreal, and today I'm going to be presenting you geometry. And we're going to look at to describe the differences between the radius, diameter, and circumference of a circle. First of all, let me just give you a brief story of the history of the circle. So a circle is a fundamental in math because in elementary, we see the circle as a shape, and some things that we could describe this, the circle is by the moon, the sun, or a wheel. But today you're gonna know something slightly different of a circle. Let's look at it. So first of all, let me give you the definition of a circle. The definition of a circle is a shape that is made of a plane that are the same distance from a given point. So let's say we have a point P. So we have a point. Then if I start drawing some points around P, we start looking like a circle, and all the points are the same. So if we connect the points, we're going to have the circle and point as the P as the center. So from here to here is the same distance. If I draw a line, this the other way around, it's going to be the same distance. If I draw another line, it's going to be the same distance. If I keep going and going and going, all the lines I draw from the center to the edge of the circle are going to be the same. But now, as I said, we're going to be looking at the relationships between the radius, diameter, and circumference of a circle. So let's look at first the radius. The radius is the distance from the center to the edge of the circle. So we have a point P, which is our center, and then we have the edge of the circle. So if I draw a line from the point to the edge, this is classified as the radius. So we're going to label this as R, which is our radius. And to find the radius, we could set it as R is equal to D over 2. D is our diameter, which I'm going to explain right now. So let's look at diameter. The diameter starts at one side or edge of the circle, goes through the center, and ends on the other side. So we have the circle, the midpoint, which is the center of the circle. So the lines can start here or here. If we draw a line through the middle, through the center, and towards the other edge, we have the diameter, which we can label D. So D is equal to 2 times our radius. The circumference is the distance around the circle. So if I start here, if I go around the circle, that's my circumference. So some equations is C is equal to pi times D, or C is equal to 2 times pi times R, which D is our diameter and R is the radius. And if you want to know what's pi, pi is a Greek symbol, meaning pi. So to find pi, you find pi when you divide the circumference by the diameter, which is C divided by D, is equal to pi, which pi will equal to 3.1415, a further number, but in math we use it as 3.14. So now that you know what's the radius, diameter, and circumference, we're going to look at some examples. For our first example, you walk around a circle with a diameter of 100 meters. How far have you walked? So imagine this is you go around the circle. So how much have you walked around the circle? So we're going to be finding the circumference. So we're going to label it as walk around is equal to circumference is equal to pi times D, because the formula is C, or you can see it as C is equal to pi times D, where C is our circumference. So now we're going to find the circumference. We know that they gave us the diameter of 100 meters. So now let's solve for a circumference. So it's going to be C is equal to pi times 100 meters. Remember that pi we're using as 3.14. So we could say it as 3.14 is equal to 100 meters. When we multiply using a calculator or by hand, we get 314 meters. So you have walked 314 meters around. Now let's look at two more examples. The circle, for example number 2, the circle has a radius of 21 centimeters. What is the circumference? So the circle, we're gonna find the circumference, which is C is equal to pi times D, or we could use C is equal to 2 times pi times R. For this example, we could use the second one because it's given us the radius. So the radius is 21. So let's use the second one. So C is equal to 2 times pi times what the radius is 21 times 21. From here, we're multiplying all three numbers, so we could multiply the two numbers, 2 times 21. So 2 times 21 is 42 times pi, or 42 times 3.14. If we multiply using our calculators or by hand, we get 131 centimeters. Sorry, 131.88 centimeters. And for our last example, we're going to find the radius of a circle with a circumference of 21.98 feet. So for this problem, we're going to have to work it different. So we're going to put the formula, we're going to use this formula. C is equal to pi times D. Because we're going to find the radius. We don't know what's our radius and we don't know what's our diameter. So let's use that. So our circumference is 21.98 is equal to pi times D. But pi, we know it's 3.14. So we could put it as 3.14 times D. Now that we have it as 3.14, we have to divide to keep the D away separately. When you divide by one side, you have to divide by the other side. This cancel, you stay with the D alone. 21.98 divided by 3.14. If you do it in a calculator or if you do it by hand, you get 7. So we know that our diameter is 7. Remember that I explained you the formula of the radius? Do you know what's the formula of the radius? If you don't know it, let me put it again. So the radius is R is equal to D over 2. So our diameter is D, so which is 7. 7 over 2. Can anyone guess the answer? Okay, if you don't know it, so 7 divided by 2 will be 3.5. So our radius is 3.5 feet. These were our 3 examples. If you have any questions, if you have any doubts, comments, feel free to ask. I'm here, and thank you for listening.